Oh, friend, I'm not sure about you, but I know those days when I look back and think, what the heck did I do today? Did I even accomplish anything productive? Did I spend my time? What was I doing? I worked all day long, but right now, as I look back, I feel like I have zero results to show for it. Please tell me you can relate to this same feeling. I'm guessing even the most productive person can have those days when they feel incredibly unproductive, right? As if they were spinning their wheels all dang day long. And that's okay because it happens to the best of us. And when you're having an unproductive day, the best thing any of us can do is to give ourselves grace. So, what's the first thing that you can do when you are feeling this exact same way, like you're stuck and you're spinning your wheels? Well, it begins by getting curious as to why. And here are some of the first questions I ask myself to get into the weeds of my very unproductive day. What's the story that's going on in your head that's causing this? Is it just a one day or is it an actual pattern? Is it that you were unproductive or was your attention in the wrong thing, working on the wrong project or doing the wrong thing, causing you to procrastinate on what actually is the thing that you should have been working on? I know the should word. Sorry. Forgive me for that. It's interesting. One of the patterns I do see with the entrepreneurs that I work with is when they're about ready to level up, they hide in the unproductive, busy work to feel safe. Again, not throwing any stones because I know that I can just as easily fall into this exact same trap. Okay, friend, go grab your journal. Begin by asking yourself the curiosity questions from earlier. So, what's the story going on in your head? Write it out. Ask yourself, begin to drill down into the root cause, what's really going on with your unproductive day. One hack that I found is keeping a journal inside of Notion. By journaling a little bit every day, it allows you to do a look back so that you can see patterns of your unproductive and your productive days. This is a concept that I learned from Marie Pullen and her daily journaling practice. I'll go ahead and put a link down below to her YouTube video on how she uses daily journaling in Notion because this is the thing that started me off on this path. You see, what is nice about journaling in Notion is that you have the ability to roll up your daily journals into weekly, monthly, and yearly wrap ups. And that monthly wrap up allows you to see how many times during the month where you felt unproductive. Tracking this leaves clues as to when you're having those unproductive days and periods. When you pay attention, you'll begin to see a pattern of your productivity over the month. And are you curious why it's so important to track this? It will allow you to plan for those big launches around your productivity spikes in your business. Okay, so let's say you've recognized that you're having an unproductive day, like you're sitting here at your desk and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I'm having a completely unproductive day. What have I even accomplished so far? Here are some of my top things to be able to save your unproductive day if you begin to notice you're starting to spin your wheels. The first one is to restart your day. Can you do something simply to restart your day? While I know you're not able to go back in time, we are able to reset and clear our minds. And you can do this either by a quick meditation to clear everything out. The Insight Timer has a great guided meditations that you can do for this, or you can grab your journal and write out all the clutter. If you're not one that likes to write on paper, no problem. Open up a Google Doc and type it all out that way. You see, these are great ways to reset your thinking and restart your day with a fresh mind. This allows you to give yourself the grace you need to let go of that unproductive day that you may be seeing yourself getting into. I firmly believe that a good morning always starts the night before. And what are the things that you can do the night before that will ensure that your day begins on the right foot? It could be just me, but if I'm not 100% prepared for the day, or at least a bare minimum on the things that I find need to be done to get started correctly, I start to run my day in circles. And I don't know about you, but right now it does seem to be happening a little bit more than I want it to. But it's summer and the days are longer, and I'm outside attempting to become a gardener, something I have never successfully done in the past or actually even had a desire to do so. But I'm finding some lazy gardening hacks that are helping me with that. I'll let you know at the end of the season if they were successful or not. And here's a quick list of the things that I like to do to set myself up for a productive day the next day. I like to wrap up my day with journaling in Notion. I've already mentioned before the daily journaling practice that I do, but this allows me to reflect on the day, how it went, and what I was feeling. Clearing out what's in my mind and getting my chicken scratches from my planner in a notebook into Notion so that I can have it there and easily searched later on. Oh, and also adding tasks that need to be done into Asana. Planning the next day with tasks assigned to time blocks in my planner. So I also like to time block my time out in my planner so that I can check things off that way. For some reason, if I don't have it laid out, like my top 3 things that I want to get done in my planner, I can get sidetracked with my digitalness or too many tabs open in my computer, I guess I should say. I like to make sure that my coffee maker is all prepped. The water's ready to go, and I have the coffee grounds in the coffee maker as well. I make sure that my Epic water filter is full to the brim, and I have my first quart of water ready to go in my mason jar sitting on the counter. The dogs have their food in their dishes. I've laid out clothes that I want to wear. My AirPods, my iPad, and my pencil are ready to go for the morning. They're sitting right next to the sofa. This sets me up to feel productive and organized. And by doing that, it sets the whole tone for my day. In addition to prepping the night before, I also like to prep my week. Try to get prepared ahead of time, more so when I'm having a really busy week ahead. And if I don't take the time to actually look at the week ahead, I will be completely overwhelmed when that week starts. So I always like to take a peek ahead of time and prep for the upcoming week as much as possible. Because when you prep for your week, it cuts down on the decisions that you have to make during the week. For me, I make sure that I have all my meals planned and know the days we need to have leftovers and the date I'll be home to make a meal. So inside Notion, I have an 8-week meal plan that just rotates. And by creating this meal plan, it has removed what to me is a dreaded question. And maybe this doesn't bother you at all, but when I hear, "Mom, what's to eat? What are we eating?" it just completely makes me cringe. And by having my rotating meal plan, it allows me to cut down on the decision making after a long day of, well, decision making as a business owner. It's a lot. And these repeat meals not only help with making better choices and better, healthier decisions for my family, it also cuts down on that planning. And then I know exactly what I need to buy to have on hand for those meals for the week. Because if you know your meal plan for the next couple of weeks, you can always have certain things on hand, and it cuts down on having to go to the store as much as well, which is also a time saver. Although I pick up all my orders and do not go into a store at all because I can make some pretty bad decisions in the moment. Those little end caps, they get me. My calendar has all of my non-negotiable appointments and my client time blocks set, so I already know where to go. I believe I previously talked about like my dream week. And I really base a lot of my planning on that dream week, how I want my week to go. And again, that eliminates the decisions of what I need to do next. I've already prepped and I know exactly the next thing that I need to be working on. And this too, friend, helps with the decision fatigue. And that is a real thing. I did do a post about that a few years back. I'll go ahead and put the link in the show notes down below to that blog post. And when you get to the end of your week, like when you're doing your weekly wrap up, I want you to pay attention to the things that didn't get done, the things that fell off your to-do list, because these leave clues for you to evaluate. And I want you to ask yourself, why didn't I get this done? Did I schedule actually just too much? Did I estimate the time wrong? Like you estimated how long it was going to take you to do something and you were completely off? And if it's been a task that's been on your list for weeks, why are you not doing it? Now's the time to ask yourself, like, is it something that you really want to do in your business? Is it something that would be better delegated to your virtual assistant, your content VA? Figure it out. What do you need to be working on? So it's the whole do, delegate, defer, delete concept that you want to be looking at for those tasks that you have repeatedly not getting done week after week. And really, until you get the hang of everything, make sure you have a lot of buffer time in your calendar just in case you have moments where you're completely overscheduled yourself. And what I mean by buffer time is like have white space in your calendar where you can shift things around when you need to. I don't know about you, but as a work from home mom, you have things come up that you didn't plan for, and nothing gets me more derailed and a little bit ornery, to be honest. Just ask my children and my husband when I have something completely planned and I'm sidetracked or something is thrown in there that I didn't have on my schedule. But when I put in buffer time, or I like to call them fire blocks, then I know that I will be able to push everything that I had currently planned at that time block into that buffer time. Okay, I've rambled on long enough. It's time to wrap this up. And just a quick recap for you. If you're feeling unproductive, that's okay, friend. I want you first to give yourself grace. Determine if it's a one day or if you're in a repeat pattern of unproductivity. Reset your mindset with either journaling or a quick meditation. Prepare the night before. That will make sure you start your day off great. And if you didn't prepare, that's okay. Make sure that you can get the essentials done. Evaluate your productivity on a regular basis because it leaves clues for your improvement, and also as to when you are the most productive and you may want to plan those launches. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you and I hope you have a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.